This is an issue on which I'm constantly bombarded on a daily basis. Pro-rata pension versus NPS. So, see, first of all, I'm not making a prediction as to what is the outcome going to be for either of these cases. No one can make a prediction, but of course we can make guesses. But anyway, I'm not making a statement as to that. So the issues with pro-rata pension, according to me, are these. First and foremost, most importantly, you're asking the government to create a new form of pension. See, the government has been trying to finish the existing forms of pension. In the year 2004, normal pension, that is the old pension scheme, was abolished by the government for everyone except the armed forces. And now in the year 2023, from 21st September 2023, government has almost finished disability pension for at least 98% or 99% of defense people. So when the trend of the government is to finish all forms of pension, you're asking, see, I'm not talking about BJP or Congress or any other political party. I'm just saying the national government, whatever government it is, they are trying to abolish pension. And now we are trying to ask the government to create a new form of pension which has never existed, since independence. So it is, I think, going to be extremely difficult for the government to grant pro-rata pension on this ground alone. I'm not saying that it should not come. I'll be the happiest man if pro-rata pension comes along, because my financials also become secure, and along with pro-rata pension we get, when you get pensioner status, then obviously you get that medical facilities also. So but anyway, I think that this alone makes it very, very difficult. Secondly, the issue with pro-rata pension would be that most of the people who have taken release after 5 years or 10 years or 14 years of service, most of these officers have taken release voluntarily, because till 3-4 years ago, anyone who wanted PC was getting it. So except for officers who have been forced to take release or who have been thrown out after 10 years or 14 years, officers before, let us say, 2020 have all gone out. Mostly, maybe 80 to 90% of these officers have gone out of their own free will. So when you have gone out of the Army, Navy, Air Force out of your free will, when you know that you can do 20 years of service for earning a pension, but you have gone out voluntarily after 5 years or 10 years or 14 years, then it is very, very difficult, in my opinion, that any court will grant you pension, because there was no provision for grant of pension after 5, 10, 14 years of service. You knew you will get pension after 20 years of service, but you've gone out at 5, 10, 14 voluntarily. So it becomes extremely difficult. Now, many of these petitioners have retired 30, 40 years ago. This is also one of the points which was highlighted by the Honorable High Court on the last day of hearing, which was 9th of August. And so 30, 40 years you've retired, and now you're coming to the court asking for pension. So it is, I think, going to be extremely difficult. Also, another issue with pro-rata pension is, I don't think you can argue on the ground of violation of any of your fundamental rights. See, you cannot say that right to equality is being violated, because you cannot ask for equality with PC officers. Of course, you've done the same training and trained with them and sweated and bled with them, of course. But there is a concept of a separate class. So short service officers certainly form a separate class of officers as compared to permanent commission officers. It is not good or bad or better or worse or whatever, but it is certainly a separate class, and the government is entitled to make stipulations as to how many years of minimum service shall be required for the grant of pension. Now, one very important thing and interesting thing is that under the CCS rules, so civilian governments, they need to do minimum 10 years of service to earn a pension. And of course, if army officers are doing, Army, Navy, Air Force are doing 14 years of service also, plus 1 year of training in many of these cases, and then also they are not being granted pension, that is a good argument to take. But asking for equality with permanent commission officers, that because they have done 20 years of service, so, and I have done 10 years of service or I have done 14 years of service, so give me pro-rata compared to 20 years, that is going to be a very difficult argument, in my opinion. Yes, you can argue, you can maybe probably try to argue that because civilian government servants are getting pension at 10 years of service, and we have done much more difficult service than them. We have done national service for 10 years, 14 years, plus 1 year of training. So we should also be granted pension. That would be a better argument to take, in my opinion.